Hi, I'm Jane. For so many reasons, people actually believe that I was born with a silver spoon. In reality, I think they were wrong. As a matter of fact, mine could exactly be described as a golden spoon. The truth is that I had virtually everything a young child could ever dream of. From top notch clothes to toys, the list was endless. Yes, there weren't few. I had them in abundance. However, even with all these at my beck and call, my actions still depicted one that had nothing. On several occasions, when Mom took me and two of my siblings to the store for shopping, I'd eagerly wait for a perfect opportunity to slip anything my hands could possibly get a hold on inside my pocket, or bag, as the case may be. Well, it was easier for me to do this without being caught, due to the fact that I was always waiting for a perfect distraction before I strike. Yeah, I was very smart. So I thought. Unfortunately, Mom never knew that those moments she kept inquiring and asking tons of questions about the products she wanted buying in the store were perfect moments, opportunities I used to execute my plan. I didn't see any big deal with what I did, since the things I picked weren't costly, just snacks, toys, and other little stuffs. As a matter of fact, I thought I was absolutely normal for kids my age to do things like this, as long as they aren't caught. Over time, I didn't just stop with picking things from the store. I sometimes went as far as stealing from the offering box in the church. One day, while my parents and siblings were watching TV in the parlor, I sneaked into my dad's room and took a few dollars out of his drawer. Just when I was about sneaking out, I heard a voice. Jane, what do you think you're doing? Even without turning, I knew I was caught by Mom. I was so scared, not because of what I did, but because I didn't want to be grounded. Yeah, punishment scares the hell out of me. I begged Mom not to tell Dad, and I promised her never to steal again. Since I was Mom's favorite, I actually knew she'd forgive me and keep our little secret. Actually, that was exactly what happened. As I got older, my siblings and everyone in my family started complaining of missing properties on a daily basis. Aside from Mom, no one else knew who the real culprit was. With my innocent face, no one ever suspected me. Well, since Dad was always ready to replace the missing properties with a better one, I didn't feel terrible about this habit of mine. One day in high school, during the break period, when other students went to get their snacks, I carefully opened my seatmate's bag, and before I could remove the new toy I saw her with earlier on, I heard her shout from behind me. I knew it. Rosie happened to be my seatmate, and everyone knew she wasn't the type that keeps secrets. That's why they nicknamed her Basket Mouth. Just like a basket, Rosie never kept anything to herself. I began to sweat profusely. The mere sight of her made me realize I was already in a serious trouble. Rosie, on the other hand, didn't care much about my sad face and tears that were rolling across my beautiful chubby cheeks. She wasn't ready for my self pity antics. Now, with a loud voice, she inquired, You rich, beautiful thief, what were you doing in my bag? Before I could come up with a convincible lie, Rosie was already heading to the principal's office. Nothing I said made any sense to her. At this point, I could picture myself being expelled from school. The worst of it all is that I'd be regarded as the rich, beautiful thief by everyone who knew me. Out of desperation, I knelt down and said, Rosie, I'll do anything you ask me to do from now on, as long as you don't tell the principal about this. I don't know where that idea came from, but, well, it worked. Rosie, who was moving at a very fast pace, stopped immediately. I said that. She turned, smirked, and added, Not like you've got any other choice. Deep within me, I heaved a sigh of relief. Throughout the day, Rosie didn't say anything to me, and personally, that singular experience has already changed my entire life. What I never knew was that I only got myself into deeper trouble. The next morning in school, Rosie demanded I surrender my pocket money to her, or else she'd head straight to the principal and report how I tried to steal from her. Her facial expression alone showed that she meant everything she said. Well, I had no choice. My reputation meant more than a mere pocket money. I gave her the money and spent the rest of the day fighting back hunger. From asking for pocket money, Rosie started demanding I copy her notes as well as do her assignments, or else stand a chance of getting our secret exposed. Just like she said that day, I had no choice. I knew what I was passing through in Rosie's hands wasn't right, but then I was paying for my sins. All along, I was ignorant of the fact that Rosie, just like she had always been, had told her friends about the incident. It took a matter of time. One of the students teased me with it. You rich, beautiful thief, leave my seat before my books disappear. Everyone in the classroom laughed so hard. I've never felt so embarrassed all my life. I ran out of the classroom and cried my eyes out. I didn't realize that the principal was standing quite close to me, waiting for me to let go of whatsoever was bothering me. Yes, my principal is one of those persons that believe that crying isn't a form of weakness, but strength. I'm sure she heard that I wasn't sobbing anymore, that she said, "Jane, you can tell me about it. I'm here for you." Those assuring words were enough reasons for me to let the cat out of the bag. I didn't just tell her about trying to steal from Rosie, I told her about my entire childhood mistakes too. Although she tried hard to keep a fairly normal face, but I knew she was so disappointed. After what seemed like a lifetime confession, she could only mutter, "I'm proud of you. You allowed your mistakes to shape you into a better person." She went further to explain why trying to conceal my offense was wrong. Later in the day, she came to my classroom and spoke on why we couldn't capitalize on another person's mistakes. She told Rosie that what she did was a crime just like mine. We got to learn about blackmail and its resilient effects. My mistake was not just a lesson for me, it was also a big lesson to others as well. That was the beginning of a more normal life for me. Like and share this video, and also let me know in the comment section what you think about my mom, if her actions encourage my negative lifestyle. Also, I would like to hear your own story. If you have experienced something like this, let's hear your story in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe.